Hello, my name is Derek, and I'm a test prep expert here at Magoosh. And I'm here to talk to you today about how to manage test anxiety and perform your best on test day. If you like this video, take a moment, like the video, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel for tons of more content similar to this. Tip number 4, don't overdo it. So, in addition to tip number 3 of preparation, think about tip number 2, which is being realistic and understanding that you have to set realistic goals to really succeed. And with that realistic goal, you have to be mindful of your mind, body, and spirit in going down the process. Many people try to cram for exams. That does not work. Here is why. The way standardized exams are created is that it's almost like learning a different language of test prep and test learning. And these exams are set up so that people who cram for exams and think that they could look at a few different problems and understand the entire schema of the exam are going to be set up for many traps and some of the misleadings of these exams. Test writers are tricky, and they want to make sure that you really earn that high standardized test score. So be realistic with yourself, right? Pulling all-nighters is terrible, right? You may get over a few times in college doing that, or maybe even on a presentation that you have to do at work. But to think of doing all-nighters as a form of test prep is not really going to help you out a ton. And it's actually going to be more detrimental to your mind, body, and spirit as you prepare yourself for that exam. As mentioned before, if you're going to run a marathon, you wouldn't start training the day before the marathon. You will create a well thought out, spread out plan over several weeks or even a few months, and you will build upon each and every day and getting you to that next step. But like a marathon runner, the key is going to be rest. And as much as you're getting sleep and also taking that time for a little bit of hydration, make sure you drink your water and keep your body healthy. You also want to take some time for fun for yourself, right? Overdoing it is going to put you in a place of great pressure where you're going to feel as if I put my everything into this exam. And if I don't succeed at this moment in time, I have failed. And that's not how you want to go into the exam. You want to go into the exam excited to show this test prep providers, the standardized test, how much you know and how well you're preparing for it. It's one thing to go into an exam feeling high levels of pressure because you're underprepared. And then there's another thing to go into the exam as a well-trained oil machine, ready to answer questions and spit out facts, figures, and data to get you to that higher and higher score that you're aiming for. So make sure you take care of yourself. Overdoing it is going to be something that's really going to put you at a bad state. Thinking that you can say, hey, for 7 days a week, I'm going to study for 10 hours. I'm going to shut off the TV and just recluse yourself from society and from your community is a really bad way of going about it. You want to balance it. It's a balancing act, right? You don't want to have too much fun where you kind of step away from your studies and delay a lot of that hard work. But you don't want to study too hard to the point that you look up from the books and you're missing out on very important events in your family life, in your social circles, or even special time for yourself, right? It's one thing to work hard, it's another thing to overdo it. And I stress to you in this really important tip, don't overdo it. Take the time that you need, plan it out, be realistic, take a deep breath, recalibrate, think about it, and then approach. But make sure you have that proper level of balance for success.